James, thank you so much. Welcome. I won't
Thank you.
tell everyone the background to how you ended up here, but I'm very pleased to have you. I just need to apologise to everyone for my light. I broke my light, so I'm stuck with some. Anyway, you won't be hearing much from me, so it doesn't really matter. James, so Outland Denim. Thanks for joining us. So you're in, I think Outland are in the last 8 days of a campaign on Birchal. And
That's right. Yeah.
yeah, and you're well, jean makers. I guess you're tired of being described as the Megan jeans, but it
That's
was
right.
it was the way that you became so well known around the world for your work, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. No, she certainly exposed our brand to the world in a pretty powerful way.
yeah, yeah. Well, but your real thing is working with exploited women, isn't it?
That's right.
And so, love to hear your story. So,
Right.
you're our last man for the night, and you're saving me doing a big long wrap up and boring everyone. So, I'm very
Well, look,
excited.
I'll try to make it really quick and hopefully somewhat interesting, so that nobody falls asleep. But look, we started 10 years ago on this journey of creating the brand that we're currently working in, Outland Denim, and that all started after watching the Liam Neeson film Taken, which was a film, although fictional, had text in it just saying that these events still happen around the world. And Liam Neeson was the hero of the film, and his daughter and her friend were abducted and sold into the sex industry whilst traveling through Europe. And I left the movies that night. I was outraged and couldn't believe that these things would actually happen. And so I went on a journey to learn more with my wife. And, over those next couple of years, we learned a lot about human trafficking and what it really looked like. And I eventually had the opportunity to travel with a rescue agency um, through Southeast Asia. And it was on that trip in Thailand, actually, that I saw a little girl for sale. And it was just so confronting, seeing the fear and desperation in her face and knowing that her life has changed forever due to the fact that she was born into a poor country and that she didn't have the support that she needed to not have to endure these things. And so it was it was a life-altering moment for me. And I vowed that night when I saw this that I wanted to be a part of the solution. And the solution was absolutely glaringly obvious that it needed to be an economic one. And so we set about creating a business and a business model that would address the issue of women in particular, but people in general being made vulnerable due to poverty. Poverty being one of the greatest contributors to, making these women vulnerable, and these vulnerable people then being opened up to being trafficked and sold for a range of different reasons. That was 10 years ago. Today, we're about 3.5, I guess, closing in on 4 years of operating Outland Denim, having launched our brand. And like you said earlier, Jennifer, we'd only just launched our brand and signed with David Jones here in Australia as a retail partner and the top 2 department stores in Canada. So we're already growing quite quickly. And then Meghan Markle decided to wear our jeans on a royal tour, and that blew it up, and it just went everywhere, right the way across the world. The media were talking about this unknown Australian brand that the Duchess of Sussex has worn, and it was just incredible. I'm not sure if I've lost you, Jennifer, have I?
I'm here. I'm back.
There you are. What? I hope you weren't having your dinner.
No, I'm in with the team. I'm in a sneaky muesli bar.
Good for you.
No, not a problem.
Very good. Yeah. So I mean, look, it was a incredible experience for us to have somebody like Meghan Markle support our brand, and since then we've had Leonardo DiCaprio and others. And I think what it highlights is the fact that the general public are tired of the way things have been done, and they are looking for ways to be able to contribute through their everyday purchasing. Outland Denim gives them that ability to be able to be a part of changing things on a social and environmental level just by purchasing a premium pair of jeans. And so for us, it's been about focusing on creating the most beautiful product that has a byproduct of those jeans of changing those people's lives. And it really does. And if you look inside our product, you'd see a thank you from one of the seamstresses written on the inside of the jean that made the product. And it's been this journey of just discovering that, you know, if you give poor people the tools they need to succeed themselves, then they will absolutely succeed. They will get themselves, their families. And if you can get a family out of poverty, then you have an impact on a community. And what happens is, the question is, what happened would if you could impact an entire community? You know, where does it stop? And so far we've been able to impact 524 different family members through employment with Outland Denim. And it's been growing rapidly over the past 18 to 24 months, where we're now stocked in the US with Nordstrom's and Bloomingdale's, the best department stores in the US, David Jones in Australia, Harry Rosen's, Holt Renfrew in Canada. And so it's really quite unheard of for a small, relatively new brand to be stocked so quickly in the best stores around the world. And I think it's because we're in a very unique time in history where consumers are looking for the next, or for a way, like I said, to be able to be a part of the solution rather than the problem. It's been exposed now that actually we're contributing to the problem every single day through the products we purchase. So I guess our question is, what happens if we can create more products in this way that actually improve the world rather than detract from it?
Yeah, well, it's certainly well documented, the UN SDG 5, the difference empowering women makes from a climate perspective, even though that sounds like quite a cold way of describing it, ironically, doesn't it?
Yeah, but look, I mean, data doesn't lie, and you know, I'm certainly no how do you put it, bra burning femo. I'm not one of those, but I most certainly am a feminist. And and because the data is very clear that if you can give a woman the opportunity to be successful herself, then that will impact, the impact of that goes way wider than if we were to have the same kind of opportunity given to a man. Now, that doesn't mean we don't give opportunities to men. Men need opportunities. And actually what it, to me, identifies is the fact that, you know, what has gone wrong in society, that men are not the ones that are able to make the most out of that provision on a social level. So, I mean, it's really quite deep, the issue, but the longer we work in it and the more we, I guess, employ men and women, we learn more about it. And it's no different working in Cambodia or in another country to it is here, that we have the same issues that we're facing. It's just different cultures. So, you know, there's a big area for creating substantial change through employing people. And in fact, I believe that creating the ultimate change is going to happen through employment, through employing people, giving them the tools they need to be as successful they can themselves. And if we can be successful in this, equipping them with what they need to be successful, then I think we will be able to challenge some of the environmental challenges that we have currently as a direct result of equipping people with the things they didn't have, be it education, you know, around a range of different things, whether that's finance, environmental issues, you know, just general education, truth.
Yeah, the IPU, and several others, as you probably know, has done some great work putting a number on it, figures on it. You know, the cost of not doing it, and then the difference it makes by, well, in this case, supporting women. One of the big issues is they support community. They invest in community along. But anyway, that's another conversation. Yeah. So so you've raised, I think, 1.05 mil.
I'm not sure where it's at currently, but it's over $1 million. You know, it's been a pretty incredible experience. You know, the federal government, just as we were launching our campaign, announced that there was going to be no mass gatherings. It all of a sudden got really serious, this COVID-19. And people started to panic, and the advice to us was to not proceed with an equity raise. But, you know, I've always believed that our brand had something deeper. and I've even been out there saying it, that I believe that we have some level of being recession proof to a degree. And the reason I say that is that even during a recession, people still shop, people still spend money, and people still want to feel good. And we're a brand that ticks all of those boxes. We're a brand where we meet a need. We offer a beautiful product, and you can actually feel good about it, buying it. You don't have to feel guilty about having bought it. And in fact, you've changed somebody's life as a result of buying it. And so I think we've seen absolutely that we've certainly proven that even amongst the worst or most fearful period, when we talk about the economy in yours or my lifetime, people still spent money. We were the fastest raise on the Birchal platform that they've ever had to hit our minimum. And this is amongst the,
Well, it was because of it, because people had the time to slow down and notice. Because I noticed a great percentage of your raises come through from women, of course.
Yeah, that's right. Over 70% of those who have invested in our brand are women, and it's been amazing. And I think this absolutely resonates with a woman. You know, she can absolutely imagine and feel those feelings of the change that needs to happen on a social level. And it's not that men can't either. We've got amazing male supporters in our brand, but yeah, it's been amazing to see that we've been able to get so many females, but also raise so quickly.
So do you think you would have done? That's just a side point, really. What do you think would have happened if we weren't in lockdown?
We would have smashed it. You know,
a lot more.
Absolutely. I mean, we'd gone through our expression of interest stage, and we had lots of the sessions that we ran before we went live. Rainy, cold, windy nights, and we were filling the rooms that we were booking to run these events. You know, it was just amazing. It was blowing our mind because so many people have been watching. And like I say, I think it all comes back to there's a number of things. Hey, we all want to support. We all want to be part of the solution. How do I do it? I don't just want to keep giving and get no return, because there's a limit to how much I can give. But what if I could give and get a return, grow my wealth at the same time as changing the world? And I think this is why this is so appealing to so many people, is we all want to be a part of that. Here's an opportunity for you to be able to be a part of it for as little as $250.
Yeah, it's a good point. Okay. So it could have gone a lot further. Maybe, it looks like there's going to be another raise, I'd say, down the track.
Potentially, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But there's one, I can just see there's a question there that, were you in fashion when you decided on your direction?
No.
Oh, you weren't?
No was the answer. I was working as a freestyle motocross rider, and I was at an event, and I met the rescue agency at this event. They were there looking for ambassadors and supporters, and they offered if I wanted to come and see what it looked like on the ground, and I took the opportunity. And so I didn't come from that. I've had to learn as we've gone, and actually it's been an advantage to us, because I didn't look at the way the industry ran. I just knew that there was a better way of doing it, where I couldn't imagine how anybody could go, it's okay to exploit my supply chain as long as I have an economic profit in the profiting country. And to me, that is just so foreign. And therefore, we've addressed every issue as we've come to it. And we want people to prosper out of our brand. And we've been able to experience that it's possible. And now that we've experienced the fact that it's possible, the sky's the limit as to what we could change through industry, and in particular the fashion industry. 1 in 6 people in the world work in fashion. Can you believe that? That's insane. So this is a really, really important industry to be able to address these issues with. So no, it wasn't from fashion.
That's amazing. Amazing. Okay, I had no idea. I thought you must have been in the industry and saw it as a way to, a better way to manufacture, I guess. Yeah. Good for you. Wow. Well, it looks like we don't have any other questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add? in terms of the pitch, or who we can? Well, we'll make sure that this video gets up quickly, because clearly there's not a lot of time left, and I'm sure everyone will share.
Sure. I can see one more question just popped up, and it was just about how can people invest? And investing is as simple as investing $250. It's very easy. It's called retail investing. It was made legal about 12 months ago here in Australia, to where your everyday person over 18 years of age could invest, no matter what country they're in this kind of raise. And so we've set our minimum at $250 and our max at $10,000. What you need to do to be able to invest is you go over to birchal.com, which is BIRCHAL.com, and you look for Outland Denim, and you'll be able to follow some really easy steps to learn more about the business, more about the opportunity. And if you want to invest, you can then place an investment in that price range. And, you know, it's, I think it's the best way of raising capital. And the reason I say that is, you know, we were a company that was probably a little bit beyond your average company that would raise money this way. But the reason that we did it this way is because, you know, we call ourselves the people's brand. And that is that we want to benefit as many people as possible. And that means those people, our community here in Australia, in the US, Canada, and in the UK, who support our brand, who love our product. We want you to be able to get a dividend. We want you to have the benefits of being an owner in a company like this, in a fast-growing company that's having positive impact on the people on the planet. And so we believe this was the best way to be able to orchestrate that to happen, because otherwise nobody would be able to invest as little as $250 or even $10,000. There'd be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars that people would need to have to be able to become an investor. So it really speaks to who we are as a brand, and we're just so stoked that we've done it. It's been an incredible experience for us to open up in this way. So Birchal.com, look for Outland Denim, and it will prompt you along the way from there. Do you want me to answer this next question, Jennifer? Or?
Yeah, go for it.
The question is, how difficult is it to establish the manufacturing environment where the employees are safe and well paid, etc.? You know, the sad reality of this is it's challenging. Everything's challenging. Just new business is challenging. Creating the business model was really hard. To have genuine impact. How do you impact people or give them what they don't have so they can be successful themselves? But if we weren't operating from a deficit, if we weren't working with exploited people, which most poor countries have been in some way of resource, or, you know, for lots of reasons, not always by the West, even by their own people, then it wouldn't be so difficult. But it comes down to some basic things. Our business model is built on 4 pillars. The first thing is giving opportunity to women and men that wouldn't necessarily get this opportunity otherwise. Then we train them into the job. Training somebody to make a pair of jeans can take 2.5, 3 years to be able to train them. So there's a big investment that has to go into these people. Living wages from the moment they start, which is different to minimum wage, means that they can live a lifestyle like you and I get to enjoy, where they can have healthcare and save for the future. Maybe go out for dinner on a Friday night, amongst other things. And then education. So that's not your formal education where they go to university and get a degree. That is, you're earning more money now. We need to teach you about finance and budgeting, household budgeting. We need to be able to equip you with the gaps that you've got in your life for you to be successful yourself. And when you put all of those elements together, we've seen a really profound impact on people where it absolutely changes their life. And it's really important to add here, it's not because of us. We just gave them the foundations that you and I get to enjoy by being in a rich country like Australia. When you give them that, they are so good, so clever, so smart, all these things. They don't need us. They don't need our pity. They just need the opportunity that we got, and they are so successful themselves. And so that's really what it's built on. And if you can build any business on that, then you will change people's lives for the better. And that's why we exist.
It's powerful, very powerful message. Is there, I'll just call if there's any more questions. Any comments in closing, James? I'm so glad you came by. What
No,
fabulous.
yeah. Well, look, I'm grateful that you'd have me on your show, and it's been nice to be able to be here and chat. But I think my closing comments is, we don't want anybody to feel guilty. We don't want to shame brands. We don't want to do anything like that. What we want to do is we want to offer another option for people to be a part of if they'd like to. We believe that we've been able to create the most beautiful, sustainable product based on its environmental impact. We haven't even talked about that tonight, but a lot of innovation has gone in on an environmental side. We say that we don't believe you can say you care about people if you don't care about the planet. So they're equally important, and they have to change simultaneously to be able to really make lasting change. That's what our brand is about, and we just want to encourage people to come on that journey with us. We've experienced the most incredible growth with celebrities that have backed our brand, retailers that have backed our brand. And this has all happened organically because we've focused for the last 10 years on building the strongest foundations of an impact brand possible. And as we've launched that to the market, we've just had copious amounts of support for it. And I guess growing our community has real commercial value as well, with this equity crowdfunding on Birchal.com. Because now we grow our community to have a much more educated consumer, where we can activate our community when we launch in new stores, when we launch new products. We can take you on the journey to share the impact that you're having on people's lives on the other side of the world, and how you're creating change in a landscape which has been devastating on the environment and devastating on the people within our supply chains. But we've been able to prove that it doesn't have to be done that way. And so having the opportunity to speak to your viewers is great for us, because we hope that there's people there that are interested in coming on that journey.
I do have to ask the obvious question though. I mean, it is denim. And so, environmentally, what's your major differentiator in terms of without?
Water and dyeing. Water, dyeing, and washing. We use less water. We use the best dyes, meaning plant-based, no harmful chemicals in any of our dyes. And then we go into the washing, where we save huge amounts of water through laser, ozone, and e-flow technologies in the washing, which is where a lot of the devastation happens. So e-flow, using nano bubbles rather than submerging in thousands of liters of water to be able to get the effects that we all love on our jeans. Ozone, replacing toxic bleaches that are devastating on the environment, also harmful to people. And so by using the latest technology to be able to create the greatest impact, I mean, to put you in the picture, some of the chemicals that we use for our washing will cost up to 50 times more than your conventional chemicals per liter. But that's the commitment of our brand. We're not interested in having an eco line. We're not interested in a sustainable line. That says that you're not a sustainable brand. It's 100% or nothing for us. And so that's what people are buying into, and it's changing the world. It absolutely is changing the people's within our supply chain, but even into retailers, to be able to educate sales associates, to be able to talk to customers and spreading the awareness. That's how we create change. And when we prove to an industry that this is a viable model, that this is viable across all levels of what sustainability is, which is our social, environmental, and economic sustainability, then you have the opportunity to create massive change for an industry. And if you change an industry like fashion, where there's 1 in 6 people work within it, right the way across the world, then what could the outcome of that be?
Yes.
If everybody adopted it.
Yes, indeed. I noticed actually Stephanie Devine's still here. So I don't know if you know her, but she has made the world's only compostable bra.
I have heard, yes.
Amazing.
Which is incredible. And, it's that kind of innovation that's going to change the world. For women buying bras, why would you not buy that bra over another, knowing that you've just been a part of the solution rather than the problem? And it's, we all need to encourage that kind of innovation.
That's right. You pay for it, but you're not paying for some fake status. You're paying for a real input.
Well, I'm seeing a trend as well within the fashion industry where it's nearly becoming embarrassing to say that you're wearing certain fast fashion brands. And you know, I'm not here to trash any other brand, but I do get excited by the fact that people now are recognizing that, oh, I know that's not really the right thing to do. I did because of price point,
Yeah.
but, you know, so I think there's a lot of hope, you know, and it's because people like yourself, Jennifer, are talking about these issues. And as we talk about these issues and that awareness is raised, we have a real shot at creating a much brighter future for ourselves and our children and grandchildren and so forth.
Yeah, by absolutely doing something.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Any comments in closing apart from get your ass over to Birchal?
Yeah. Look, go have a look at Birchal. We'd love you to look at our jeans. Go to outlanddenim.com.au if you're in Australia, or .com if you're in the US, and have a look at our products. You know, the greatest thing that anybody can ever do is, you know, purchase our products. And if you love them, buy it again. Talk about it. You know, word of mouth, greatest form of advertising that exists. When you talk to your friends and you recommend something, it has so much more weight than anything another brand can ever do. We're competing against the big guys with huge marketing budgets. But for us, we believe that we've got something so powerful that we don't need to spend that kind of money on advertising. We just need you to love our jeans, and then we believe you'll talk about it. So we'd love you to join our community and come on the journey.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer.
And for being so great about today. You were just a legend.
No worries. It's nice to chat. Thank you.
Yeah, well, we shall no doubt see you again. So thanks,
Look forward to it. Cheers.
James Bartle from Outland Denim.